As your community broadcaster, Shaw TV has provided access to production and broadcast time for declared candidates in this riding leading up to the October 19th federal election. Following are speeches from those candidates who made use of this airtime.
Everywhere, the wealth gap between the vast majority of working people and a handful of super rich continues to widen. In the world today, the top 1% own and control more than 50% of the entire wealth of our planet. It's time we replace this system with one where the working people own the economy. I'm Tyson Stradlin, and I'm running for the Communist Party of Canada because I want to live in a more democratic society where the government protects the people and the environment, not the corporations and the mega-rich. I grew up in this riding and I witnessed firsthand my own mother work 2 jobs in an increasing struggle to make ends meet, as is the case for more and more Canadians. The platform of our party includes full employment and higher wages, taxing the 1%, not the needy, expanding social programs, a massive housing program, protecting labor rights, withdrawal from NATO, cutting carbon emissions, scrapping security state laws like Bill C-51, justice for Aboriginal peoples, and full gender equality. Winning this progressive alternative starts with dumping the Conservatives. Harper's pro-war, pro-corporate austerity agenda has been a disaster for ordinary people. Under Harper, the annual profits of the big banks and largest corporations have ballooned to up to $250 billion. There has been a vicious corporate offensive designed to drive down wages and living standards and transfer wealth to the super rich. Working people want real fundamental change, not the tired solutions offered by the big parties who refuse to really defend the interests of working people, advance the cause of peace and social justice, or work for the protection of our environment. We present an ambitious alternative. We want to nationalize energy, natural resources, the banks, and the insurance companies. We can afford real change by cutting military spending and implementing progressive taxation that makes the corporations and the wealthy pay. Real change is possible. Vote communist and send a clear message that another Canada and a better world is necessary, urgent, and worth fighting for. Please join us in the struggle for a better future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Merner. I'm the Liberal Party of Canada candidate in Esquimalt Saanich Sooke. I've been knocking on doors since January, and I thought I'd share with you some of the things I've heard on the doorsteps and how the Liberal Party of Canada intends to address those issues. The first thing I hear, and I hear this every time I go out, is that the Stephen Harper government has been in office for almost 10 years now, and it's time for a change. People are looking for a change, and even people who have voted Conservative in the past are saying they're not going to vote Conservative this time. They're looking for alternatives. And our conversation usually goes along these lines. I'll say, well, have you considered the other parties, NDP, Green, or Liberal? And folks say, I'm not decided, and it's a tough decision this time round. And there are many different factors that weigh on people's minds as they come up with these decisions. I hope that in Esquimalt Saanich Sooke, people might look at the candidate who's knocked on their door especially or come through their neighborhood, the candidate who's worked hard to gain their confidence in their vote. Because the way a candidate campaigns suggests how the candidate might act as the Member of Parliament. I would point out that Sherry Lukens, the Conservative candidate, hasn't been attending any of the debates so far, and that's unfortunate because I think accountability is a critical part of our democracy, and it's important for all the candidates to attend the debates and answer questions and participate in the democratic process. Another question I'm often asked is, my main priority is to see Stephen Harper moved on to another employment. Who should I vote for? Again, it's very hard to answer that question because until the eve of Election Day, it'll be hard to tell who's most likely to replace Stephen Harper. I obviously think Justin Trudeau is the leader most likely to replace Stephen Harper, and one of the reasons for that is because of the Liberal platform. We have a very strong platform. We're going to invest in infrastructure, We're going to invest in public transit. We're the only party that says we are not going to balance the budget in the next 3 years because we feel it's more important to invest in Canada and get the economy going. That's at the heart of our platform. It's the difference between us and the other parties, and I hope that that makes the difference in your choice as you're trying to decide who to vote for in Esquimalt Saanich Sooke. So what I'm saying is David Merner, Esquimalt Saanich Sooke, is an excellent option. If you would like to call me or drop by our campaign office, we'd love to chat. Our office is at 904 Esquimalt Road in Esquimalt, or you can call me 778-350-0162, and I'd be delighted to chat with you. Thank you very much for your time, and vote David Merner on October 19th.
Hello, my name is Sherry Lukens, and I would like to take this opportunity to tell you why I'm running as the Conservative Party candidate in the riding of Esquimalt Saanich Sooke. I grew up in Alberta as the daughter of prairie farmers, and it was here that I learned the value of hard work and the pride that comes with the result of hard work. But my passion was figure skating. For the duration of my childhood and into my teen years, I was a competitive figure skater. And it was then that I learned about setbacks and how to pick myself up, keep a smile on my face, and carry on. This lesson was what got me through when my skating career was ended because of a drunk driver. And it is the lesson that carried me through a career as a skating coach, as a broadcast journalist, and as a business leader at TELUS. Community engagement is at the heart of my desire to represent Esquimalt Saanich Sooke in Ottawa. My time as a Colwood City Councillor taught me about the issues and opportunities facing local residents. This federal election is about leadership. This is why I'm running for the Conservative Party, as only a Conservative government has the proven leadership to manage our fragile economy and create opportunities for future generations. The Conservative government has a strong record of stable leadership. Since the recession in 2008-09, the government has created 1.3 million net new jobs. Canadians are enjoying the lowest federal tax in over 50 years. The New York Times reports that Canada has the strongest middle class in the world, overtaking Americans for the first time ever. Forbes magazine has listed Canada as the best country in the world in which to invest. And Canada is the only G7 country to balance its budget while maintaining and increasing federal transfers to the provinces. We have launched an unprecedented $50 billion infrastructure program to invest across Canada, $1 billion of it right here at home. Because of the tough on crime laws, our streets are safer. We are also deeply committed to re-equipping our military and supporting our veterans. In closing, my belief in the power of free enterprise, our communities, and in our social and economic freedoms we enjoy as Canadians is the foundation of my personal and professional life. This is why I have chosen to run as the Conservative Party candidate in Esquimalt Saanich Sooke. I stand behind and for strong, stable leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada. I ask for your vote on October 19th.
Hi, my name is Frances Lippmann, and I'm a problem solver. I've worked hard for everything I have. Nothing has been handed to me. I was a foster child and on my own by age 17, and I put myself through 7 years of post-secondary education by working nights and weekends at the Times Colonist. I worked my way up to the special sections editor, and 16 years later, I left the security of that well-paid union job to go out on my own and start my own business. This is my 25th year as a professional photographer. I understand what it takes to manage people, budgets, and solve problems. I am a problem solver. I saw a problem years ago. Groups doing the hero work in our community, the Sierra Club, Dogwood Initiative, Ancient Forest Alliance, all struggling and needing more exposure. To raise their profile and help them raise funds, I founded Creatively United for the Planet and produced what the David Suzuki Foundation called North America's Best Earth Week Festival. 10,000 people have attended. Problem, solution. The Green Party has been the perfect next step. The Green Party aligns with my values and gives me hope with solutions to the problems our community faces. Everything we value is at stake: a healthy economy, our democracy, a caring society, and even the very air we breathe. We can't wait for another election to address climate change. We need action now. Greens have a realistic job plan that will allow us to transition to a robust 21st century economy based on renewable energy and home retrofits. That will put you, me, and this planet first over corporate interests and lobby groups. Our country supports 19 million jobs. 96% of those jobs have nothing to do with the fossil fuel industry. Twice as many jobs could be created by transitioning to a renewable energy economy. Greens want to focus on expanding our local economies with well-paid, clean jobs that stay here and protect our coastlines from tankers and pipelines. Our platform is fully costed, reviewed by financial experts, and available for all to see at greenparty.ca. Greens are a watchdog. We will hold the other parties to their election promises. Greens will work with the NDP and Liberals to stop Harper. We are the only party without a whip vote, meaning that I'm free to vote with my conscience and on the values of my constituents. And our highly respected national leader and Parliamentarian of the Year, Elizabeth May, lives right here on Vancouver Island. I bring my love for our community and passion to work for you, and for a Canada that works together. Vote Green.
Hi, I'm Randall Garrison, and I'm running for re-election as your NDP candidate in Esquimalt Saanich Sooke. First and foremost, I'm running to make sure that Stephen Harper is defeated. Over the past 4 years, I've seen up close the damage the Conservatives have done, whether we're talking about damage to Canada's international reputation, the way we treat First Nations, the way we treat our veterans, or whether it's attacks on science, or even attacks on democracy itself. The cynical and self-serving policies of this Conservative government must end. On October 19th, we have a chance to replace Stephen Harper with a new progressive government. We're just one election away from an NDP government that will bring in childcare that is quality, affordable, and accessible. We're just one election away from a government that will tackle climate change and will send Tom Mulcair to Paris as Prime Minister to make Canada a world leader on the environment once again. We're just one election away from an NDP government that will lift seniors out of poverty by raising the GIS, by restoring the retirement age to 65, and by guaranteeing universal access to prescription drugs. On October 19th, every NDP seat will count when it comes to replacing Stephen Harper. As for me personally, I have some unfinished business in Ottawa. As the NDP Public Safety and National Security critic, I led the opposition to the government's anti-terror bill in the House of Commons and in the Public Safety Committee. I want to go back and make sure that C-51 is repealed. As an opposition member, I got my private member's bill, C-279, through the House of Commons despite the Conservative majority, only to have it killed in the unelected Senate. I want to go back and make sure that we fill this major gap in our human rights legislation and make sure that transgender Canadians have the same protections and rights that all the rest of us already enjoy. As your MP, I want to go back and make sure that those long-term, long-promised, high-paying and high-skilled shipbuilding jobs actually appear in this community, and that we get on with the business of rebuilding a viable Navy. After 13 years of inaction by both the Liberals and Conservatives, I want to go back and make sure we get a recovery plan implemented to protect the southern resident killer whales, and that we restore environmental protection for our watersheds and fish habitat. I've worked hard. I have a record of getting results for my constituents, and I have a proven record of getting things done in the House of Commons. I want to go back and continue that work, this time as part of the most progressive government Canada's ever seen, one led by Tom Mulcair. On October 19th, I hope I can count on your support because I know that together we can build the Canada of our dreams.